All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is December 5th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I'm the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. That's the day trading service for the hit and run candlesticks family. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so how I made 7,700 on I only used 3,500 today. That's it. 3,500 made 7,700. Nice whopper day. Really nice. I just kind of nailed that one. I want to thank all my paying subscribers. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. Trying to provide actionable, profitable content every single day. Want to see you guys make money. If you're not making money, you're not going to be happy. If you're not happy, you're not going to stay here. All right? I want you to stay here. All right? So, trying to provide actionable, profitable content every single day. All right? Let's take a look at, got a few announcements. Here. First announcement. Okay, these are the closes. These are the calls I bought in to close. All right, I posted it in the alerts and I posted it in the chat just to make sure. Okay, so not these down here. Okay, those I didn't purchase any of those. Okay, those were products that I traded earlier today. Okay, but I bought some 7 DTE calls, 700 strike. I bought some 691 calls, 3 days till expiration. These are all SPY. I bought some 700 strike, 5 days till expiration. And I bought some 4 days till expiration, 700 calls right there. So that's what I bought going into the close. Price action is bullish. I think we get to 700 next week sometime. We'll see what happens. All right, let's take a look at the 10-minute. Oh, I got more announcements. I forgot. Okay, last call for Black Friday and Cyber Monday subscriptions. Okay, Black Friday happens to be $39.95 for a lifetime subscription. Normally goes for $10,000. Okay, $39.95. Okay, get a lifetime, and then you'll never have to sign up for a subscription again. And I think all workshops are included in that, past, present, and future, for that lifetime subscription. On the other is the Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday is the annual. All right, you can pick up an annual that's 12 months for $1,205, and you get an extra 6 months, no charge. So it's really 18 months for $1,205. Okay, so it's like buy one, get one half off. And I think that winds up being close to $67. Close to $67 a month, all right? Which sure beats $120, $129 a month, or $100, all right? I mean, it's a really great deal. If you're a member and you're going to be here for a while, think about it. Today's the last day. Ed said, that's it, today. I'm not doing any more, okay? So I'm just letting you know, Ed's going to turn it off, all right, after today. So if you're on the edge, you're on the fence, give him a call. He'll talk you into it. Give me a call. I'll damn sure talk you into it, all right? So think about it, okay? You'll save yourself a lot of money, okay? So price action for today. Wait, I think I got more announcements. Even more announcements after this, okay? We got Christmas and New Year's, okay? So we're going to be closed the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. I think the trading rooms will be open, all right? But there won't be any instructors in there, okay? All right, same goes for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and the day after. I think the trading rooms will be open, but I don't think any instructors are going to be in there, okay? So that's those 2 weeks right there, those 2 weekends. And, of course, no one's going to be there on the weekend. All right, so there's that. Let me see if I missed anything else. We'll see, I did the Black Friday. I did the Christmas holidays. I did the calls that I'm looking for next week. I even posted that. What else we got here? All right. Yep, made 7,700 with 3,500. Okay, this was my risk this morning. Okay, I said my trading account value is 35,173. My max risk 35.17. Daily goal 1%, $352. Well, I made $7,700. So clearly, I made my daily goal and then some. All right. All right, so what happened this morning? Okay, so in the pre-market, okay, price decided to fall off of the shelf right here. Okay, and we came right down into, see this VWAP line from left off from yesterday? Watch those sometimes. Those are often targets, and you can see where price came right into that VWAP line. I don't know if you ever seen the F-16s come by the airport, do some touch and goes. All right, so here it is. Touch and go right there. Right on the VWAP line. Touched it and left. Okay, so I said that's a buy for $1.25 bounce. I don't know if you guys were here with me this morning. I said this is going to be good for $1.25 bounce, and bingo, it nailed it. And then it kept going. It kept going. All right, and then we opened up right here. That was green erases red. Okay, so let me see if this is going to work. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't work. Okay, so here's the red from this high down to this low right there. See how price starts up here and pulls back to that low. Then what happens? All right, then the green comes in and takes it from that low. Come on, baby. Takes it from the low up to the high. Okay, so that right there. That is a perfect example, all right, of green erases red. You can get in right there. You do not have to wait for the rubber band candle, okay? Because if you're waiting for the rubber band candle, this is the whole thing. They knew you're not going to get the rubber band candle till you get to right here. And then the move is over. Okay, there's your rubber band candle on the 10-minute. There's the spike. There's the free floater. There's the break. It finally finishes off, and then the move is over. You don't have to wait for the rubber band candle on the green erases red on a straight consolidation like that. Okay, just on this. Okay, see that straight consolidation right there. Okay, that's really tight consolidation right over to the right. All you got to do is wait for the price to retrace. You got the green erases red. You can jump in there. You don't have to wait for the rubber band candle. All right, just saying. You can if you want to, but I'm just going to say you're going to miss the move if you try waiting for the 10-minute rubber band candle. Okay, you're going to miss the whole move. So there's SPY on the 10-minute. Okay, and you can see it was clearly over. But by the time this finished, what happened? Nothing but swords up here. And all the business ends pointed in the wrong direction, too. Okay, so there's SPY. So into the close, 10-minute. Kind of got a 10-minute downtrend. Not really going to count it as a downtrend. It's more of consolidation. Okay, you can count it as a downtrend if you want. The 3 is underneath the 8. I'm going to call it a weak 2-candle downtrend into the close. Weak 2-candle 10-minute downtrend into the close right there. Price action moving to the right. Okay, so I'm going to take all that off the screen. All right, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here. And I want to talk about the price action for today. Okay, so here's the price action. You've got right here, you've got consolidation. See that? Over prior consolidation. Okay, that's bullish. Anytime price moves up and holds the higher ground, that's bullish. Okay? See, the majority of the price action is over the majority of the price action. Okay, now we zoom out a little bit more. You can see we've got price action. The majority of that price action is over the majority of this price action right here. So again, you've got consolidation over prior consolidation. That's a bullish environment. Okay, so when I see the bullish environment, I like to go after the option candle lows. I try to pick off the lows of the option candle that I choose. Okay, so here we are with SPY. This happened to be, I had some in my queue to begin with. I had the 690 calls. We really should have got the 690 today. It should have happened, but didn't happen. A little bit of wick action happening up there. But anyways, this is bullish. Okay. Notice price structure goes from the bottom down here. Okay. Up. Okay. From the bottom up. And then over to the right. Over to the right. All right. Nice. Consolidating up here at the highs. Okay. That's bullish. Okay. As opposed to going up and giving it up. That's neutral. They're holding the higher ground. Okay, that's a show of strength. If you guys exercise, it's like planking, all right? You ever plank for an hour? Can't do it, right? It's not easy, all right? All right, not saying you can't do it, but I'm just saying it's not easy, all right? So price action holds the higher ground. That right there is a show of strength, okay? No wonder they didn't have the energy to get up to 690 today. They've been planking for, I don't know, 6 days straight here. Okay, so no wonder they don't have the energy. So they're just kind of melting up day by day. All right, they're on their elbows, kind of inching their way forward. All right, so there's SPY on the 10-minute. That is bullish. And like I said, we had a 10-minute, 2-candle, 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. Okay, very weak. It's more like bullish consolidation, if you ask me. Okay, so that's 10-minute. Let's take a look at the 2-hour. On the 2-hour, I'm gonna take all these off because they just get in the way. Okay, they're cool when you gotta describe something and define something, but when you get up to the bigger chart, they just get in the way. Okay, so here's the 2-hour chart right here. 2-hour. You got the candlesticks riding on the 3. Okay. You got the candlesticks in the 3 riding on top of the 8. Okay, you got the candlesticks, the 3, the 8 riding on the 17. Okay, this is all pointed up, or this is to the right anyways. The 17's pointed up. The other 2 or 3 are pointed to the right, all right? So they're just consolidating over to the right. So there's 2-hour chart. That's bullish. Holding that higher ground up there, okay? I'm going to zoom way out. I'm going to take this line off because we don't need it, okay? And then you can see this is the all-time high anchored VWAP. Let's move this over to the right candle. Okay, price is over the all-time high anchored VWAP. This is the all-time high right there. I'm just going to put the crosshairs on it so you can see how close we came to the all-time high right up here. See it? Over right up there. I'm at the top of it there. And then I come down to the candlestick that we made this morning. Okay, so incredibly close to the all-time high. Okay, we are within striking distance of nailing it. I would not be surprised to see them spike it Monday morning. All right, so I would not be surprised at all to see them making new all-time high. So there's SPY on the 2-hour. That is bullish right there. On the daily chart, okay, let's take a look at the daily. The daily, okay, price action. Okay, here's the April low. You can see we're at the top of quadrant 4. Okay, today's candle. Higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap. Look at the daily 3 EMA, pointed up. Look at the 8 EMA, pointed up. Look at the 17, pointed up. Even the all-time high anchored VWAP's almost pointed up too. Okay, so price, everything's pointed up. This is bullish right now. So we're bullish. Here's a high. We made a higher high. So we're in an uptrend. So price, top of quadrant 4, bullish and in an uptrend right there. Okay, let's go look at QQQ. QQQ, same thing happened in QQQ. Not quite as advanced as SPY. Higher low, higher high, closing over the bullish trap, over the rising 17 EMA. We can put the all-time high anchored VWAP on that if we want to. We're over the all-time high anchored VWAP. You can see we're clearly at the top of quadrant 4. There's a high. There's a higher high. That's an uptrend. Again, April low, top of quadrant 4, bullish, and in an uptrend there on the daily chart for QQQ. Weekly chart, bullish and in an uptrend. Okay, you can see it top of quadrant 4. Okay, monthly chart, bullish and in an uptrend. You can see it top of quadrant 4 there. Okay, same thing goes for SPY. Okay, bullish. Okay, bullish and in an uptrend right there. Okay, QQQ. Back there. Okay, so take a look at the 2 hour on the Qs. Okay, I've got to zoom in to see it. Let me dial back VWAP for just a second. Just a second here. Okay, you can see the yellow 3 EMA clearly now. I've removed VWAP. So now you've got the 3 EMA. You got the candlesticks riding on the 3. Okay, and the 3 and the candlesticks are riding over the 8. And the 3 and the 8 and the candlesticks are riding over the 17 EMA. Okay, everything's pointed to the right, kind of sloped to the upside there. Okay, and we're all over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, that's bullish. Price action is moving up and over to the right. That's like planking, all right? That's planking and at the same time crawling up an incline, all right? So there's QQQ on the 2 hour chart. 10-minute chart. All right, I'm going to call this bullish consolidation, all right? All right, because we moved over to the right. Okay, this is neutral. Price goes up and then gives it up. It's just neutral. It's not bearish. Okay, you've got consolidation again over prior consolidation. That's going to be bullish for me. Okay, definitely going to be bullish. All of this consolidation here. Okay, over all of this consolidation here. Okay, that's going to be bullish for me. On top of this, consolidation over prior consolidation, bullish environment. Okay, when I see that, all I want to do is pick off the lows of whatever option candle I'm working with. That's all I want to concentrate on doing. When I see that bullish environment, okay, to buy into this morning, all you needed is the pre-market price action. There's the VWAP dip right there. Okay, anything right over this line. Green candle closes over the line, 5-minute candle. You can buy into it and ride it up to the top. I kind of expected it to keep going, but you can see they couldn't even last three 10-minute candles. Okay, now I have a rule. It's like if price hangs out for six 10-minute candles up at the highs, most of the time, like 80 to 90% of the time, then they're committed. Okay, and you can see they could not do it here. So notice 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they rolled over. Okay, so then that means they're kind of not committed to it. They may come back and visit it later, but they couldn't commit. Notice they failed after 4 candles. Okay, now if we look at QQQ, actually SPY, okay, on the daily chart, you see how price goes up, all right, and holds the higher ground. Okay, I'm going to just box off some of the consolidation here. Box off that consolidation right through there. Okay, and then we got the move up. Okay, price goes up and then over to the right. Now you see how we hold right here, 1, 2, 3 candles. All right, and then we make the 4th candle right there. That one, that's the one. All right, that says there's a good chance we're committed because it's more than 3. All right, that means there's probably a good chance price is committed to going higher. All right, when you get 3 daily candles that can hold the higher ground, and as soon as you get the 4th one, that says volumes about price. Because you can see right here, okay, 3 candles, or let's just call it 2 candles, all right, right there, and then they give it up. See how that erases and comes down. All right, so let's go back and look at some more price action. Okay, you can see up here, 2 candles, and then they give it up. 3 candles, and then they give it up. Okay, 2 candles, they give it up. 1 candle, and they give it up. Okay? Okay, so when they hold, see right here? They hold. Now, sometimes it fails. Okay, notice right here, they got 1, 2, 3. There's your fourth one. They break out and then they get a failure. Okay, so there's your failure right there, $20 drop. Okay, now notice on this one, there's no follow through. Okay, no follow through. What happens? The bulls smelled the weakness, okay, and they ran off and made a new all-time high. Well, I'm kind of thinking same thing's going to happen here. Okay, $22 drop. Okay, no follow through. The bulls didn't even wait around. Last time they kind of like wandered in circles like, what do we do? They didn't wait this time, okay? They didn't see the follow through. They just ripped it right back up to the highs. Right like that. 5 candles straight up. Just like that on SPY on the daily chart. So they didn't even wait around. They smelled the weakness and they said, we know what to do. We've done this before. And they rip it all the way back up to those highs. And they're holding the higher ground up there. Okay, that's bullish. See, as opposed to rolling over, see how they rolled over here? See how they rolled over there? They rolled over here. Okay, they're not rolling over. This is bullish. This time's different. All right, it just feels different. Things are looking good so far. Okay, don't like the spinning top, but I do like the hammer. There's the SPY on the daily chart. Just wanted to go over the bookends here. 2 big red candles. Okay, so there's SPY on the daily chart. All right, we just did QQQ. All right, and let's go take a look at IWM on the daily chart. IWM. Okay. IWM today, equal high, higher low, closing over the bullish trap, over the 17 EMA, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Top of quadrant 4, here's the April low, that's bullish. There's a high, they made a higher high and in an uptrend. Let's take a look at FNGU. FNGU makes higher low, higher high. It closes over a bullish trap right there. Let's take this line and get it out of there. Okay, over a bullish trap. Over the 17 EMA, that's these green dots. You can barely see them right there. Over the pink line, that's the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, we're up in quadrant 4. That's bullish anytime you're in the upper third. Okay, that's bullish. Okay, and in an uptrend, because here's a high right there poking through the 17, they made a higher high. So that's bullish and in an uptrend, FNGU, okay? And they're holding that higher ground right there. That's good. Okay, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Now, Diamond Dow is interesting, okay? Diamond Dow is not in an uptrend, but only for, a technical reason, okay? Here's a low. They made a lower low. All right? In order to negate the downtrend, they got to make a higher high. All right? This is the first high they come to is right here. It's either that or they produce a lower high and then come back up and rip over the top of it. But right now, they have not produced a lower high yet. They're still moving up. Okay? So price action for Diamond Dow is still in a downtrend, but it's a dysfunctional downtrend because it's not moving down, it's actually moving up. You can see the 3 is pointed up and the 8 is pointed up. So this is a really harsh pullback in the downtrend that's about to negate the downtrend as soon as they clear that top right there. Okay? As soon as they wipe out that top, they will negate the downtrend and convert it back to an uptrend. All right, so price action today is a higher low and a higher high, closing over the bullish trap. You can see the 3 and the 8 pointed up, 17's pointed up, and over the all-time high anchored VWAP. So what about Diamond Dow? Here's the April low. Up at the top of quadrant 4, that's obviously bullish. Okay, that's bullish up there. All right, and they're in a dysfunctional downtrend that is not moving down. They're moving up. I hope we don't get a triple top on Diamond Dow. I hope they continue to move up higher and grind through this. I'd like to see them put in a solid base. all right, from which to launch from. Let's take a look at SPY. SPY's got a possible triple top too. 1, 2, 3. I hope this isn't a triple top. I kind of like to see price make a new all-time high. All right, so there's SPY on the daily chart. We just did FNGU. Let's take a look at silver and gold. Here's some gold. All right, I'm going to take this out of here. Gold for today. It's a higher low. Maybe. Let's see. Low here. 385.40. Low here. 385.51. Higher low, higher high. Closing inside a bullish trap over the 17. Over the pink line. That's the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, they're still in an uptrend. All right. And they're at the top of, you can see that's quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. It's bullish. Still in an uptrend there on gold. Let's take a look at silver. Okay. Here's quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. Up at the top of quadrant 4. Okay. See if they made a new all-time high. And silver makes a new all-time high today. Okay, so drop the mic. It doesn't get any better than that. Okay, so there's silver. New all-time high for silver. Obviously higher low, higher high, and in an uptrend, how do you make new all-time highs without being in an uptrend and and being bullish? Okay, so bullish and in an uptrend there for silver. Let's take a look at UNG. UNG has a whopper day. Wow, look at that. Okay, UNG now neutral. All right, no longer in the lower third. Still in an uptrend. You can see price action right here in this uptrend right here. Watch UNG for a pullback to trend. All right, or consolidate over. Maybe rest for 16, 20, 30 days and wait for trend to catch up to it. So UNG neutral and in an uptrend over the all-time high anchored VWAP. I've been talking about UNG ever since they finally closed the candle over the 2025 high anchored VWAP right here. So after making the all-time low, they decided to break out of quadrant 1, which is the bearish quadrant, and they're now in neutral land, all right? Heading off for the midpoint right here. That's UNG. Let's take a look at USO. Okay, USO spiking the downtrend line. Here's our downtrend line right here, the green one. USO, still no higher high, still no uptrend yet. Spiking the downtrend. Got a higher low and a higher high. Closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Closing over the downtrend line, but under that post-COVID high anchored VWAP. See, it's that 2022 high anchored VWAP right there, the pink line. It's actually just been sideways ever since that high. And you can see price action now spiking it, still underneath that line. So still neutral and in a downtrend. Still neutral and in a downtrend. Okay, but very close to converting an uptrend. All they got to do is take out that candle right here, and they can have themselves an uptrend. So neutral and still in a downtrend. Okay, just because they spike it, all right, and close over it doesn't mean it's broken. All right, you can see they spiked it here, and what happened? The energy inside this downtrend line pushed it down further. Same thing happened here. Okay, so we'll wait and see if they're going to push it down further. So there's USO. Take a look at the technicals. Then I'm going to call it the weekend. T2101. Price action, that's a weekly chart. Let's go to a 15-minute. And you can see less breadth participation. This breadth, you can change that out with participation. So less participation today as price drifts higher, okay, up towards those all-time highs. Okay, still bullish up here or neutral, right in the middle ground, not down here in the oversold or overbought, not up here. Okay, so still neutral right through here. I like to see a lot of participation though. For me, I like to see that. Okay, and of course we lost some today. Of course, it's a Friday. That'd probably be normal for a Friday. T21.01, okay? T21.22. We spent the day chomping around inside the buy zone, made a short appearance in the overbought zone, and we made wound up closing inside the buyer's chop zone. So not a bad bullish day. I like the fact that they're holding up here. I prefer if they hold between the buy zone and the overbought zone, but this is good holding up here. Still haven't made a a lower low right here. Okay, so this is looking good. T21.22 still bullish. T21.23 bullish gap up. Okay, again, same as yesterday, not filled by the bears. Okay, bullish gap up, not filled by the bears today. Bullish gap up, not filled by the bears yesterday. Bullish gap up, not filled by the bears the day before. Okay, and then right here on the 1st of the month, bullish gap up, not filled by the bears that day either. So we got some really bullish activity hanging out. Again, we're up and we're holding the higher ground. We're still in an uptrend, okay, because we're making higher lows and higher highs. So we're still in that uptrend. T21.23 15-minute chart. We're up over the 200. You know I like that because I'm a bull. And let's put the quad lines on there to see where everything fans out. Okay, so here's our all-time high. Okay, we're no longer in the lower third. We've broken out of there, and we're out now in neutral land. This is fantastic for T21.23. Let's look at the 3-bar chart. Okay, I'm going to take this quad line off one more time. Okay, so we're under the 200 SMA. Again, not my favorite place to be unless I'm a bear. Not a bear, so not yet anyways. I still think the bulls have one more new all-time high to make before I become a bear. So here is price action on the 3-bar chart. If they make a higher high, they will negate the downtrend. Currently, they're still in a downtrend. There's the high. They came close. No cigar yet, okay? That was close. See the air between the crosshairs and the top of these candles right over here? Right here, okay? So still got some air in between the crosshairs and these candles. So no higher high yet. So they're in a downtrend that's like Diamond Dow. It's not moving down. It's moving up. So they're in a dysfunctional downtrend because price is moving up. Okay, so price action up here in quadrant 4, that would be bullish for the 3-bar time frame. Remember, the 15-minute was bearish when it was down there in quadrant 1, and it broke out, and now it's in quadrant 3, so it's in neutral land. Okay, so we were almost in neutral land on the 3-bar chart, but you can see we have a head and shoulders program that happened here, and the neckline kind of held price up, and we had a bounce off of there. So for the 3-bar chart, we need to get up over that 200 SMA, and we need to take out this high and convert the downtrend into an uptrend. Okay, they can do it. Just give them some chance, give them some time. All right, notice they got up over, they actually got up over this head right here. That's very good. Okay, they just got to get up over this high. That would be fantastic. That's the 3-bar chart. FNGU. All right, FNGU over the 200 SMA. That's bullish. All right, that's where I want to be. If I'm a bull, I want to be on the top side of the 200 SMA. Okay, price action moves up, gives it up. But all in all, consolidating over prior consolidation. So we've got, you can see consolidation right here over prior consolidation there. So that's bullish. Plus we're up over the pink line. That's the all-time high in VWAP. Again, we went up and then we gave it up. I kind of thought we were heading off to make some new highs, but it didn't work out that way. All right, that's it for me for today, traders. All right, let me see what Robert wrote. And no sound. Okay, got that fixed. All right, that's it, everybody. I will see you all on Monday, 8 o'clock. Let's do it again, okay? Just think of how much further you guys are ahead today, okay? All those people that came to the open house and didn't get a trial yesterday, they missed out on making 2% again. Okay? This, I couldn't have spelled it out any better than I did. And Ed even told me to stop, like I was beating the dead horse. I mean, they could have made another 2% today. Maybe one day they'll learn. Maybe one day. Thanks, Brad. Have a beautiful weekend, Brad. Thank you, Robert. ONDS still looks good. I'll take a peek at it. I'm going to look at it on the daily chart. I think that's one of Rick's picks. Yes, that looks fantastic. You're up on top of the support line. I love it. Yes, that looks fantastic. Yep. I like all the green. You know what I like? The big green. Big green. All right? Let's big boys make big green candles, okay? You and I, we can't make a big green candle. Big boys make big green candles. Right? LNTH. We can't make big green candles. Only big boys can do that. That tells me big boys are playing around in that sandbox. A lot of green on this ride. Look at that ride. That's a nice ride. Nice. Over the top of that. I love it. Closing over that big red candle. That's huge. That's shows a little bit of dominance right there. Like that. Oh gosh, you guys are off to fill the gap now. Oh my gosh, you got clear skies overhead. You got a nice open gap. Oh, you're looking good on that one, Robert. Like it, like it, like it. Yeah, all the way up here. That looks nice. Both of them, ONDS, LNTH. Congrats on both of them. They're looking good. Thank you, Gene. Yeah, yes, the weather did get cool last week a little bit, but today's been pretty nice. It's not quite as cool as it was. I like the cool weather sometimes. I also like the 80-degree weather too. But we'll see you guys Monday. Everybody have a beautiful evening. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Let's make some more profits on Monday.